You know, it's unreal the way that the clock ticks your life away. And you know, every man only has a certain amount of time on this earth. And a man should make the most of that time. But what a man does in that time is what he is remembered for. You know, when you are born, there is a certain date put on a headstone, and when you pass away, there is a certain date put beside of it. But in between those two dates is a dash, and that is what you do with your life. And you can't live that dash in regret. You can't live that dash in agony. You can't live that dash in anger. But you can't let what your past did affect that dash. You know, and it took a long time for me to learn about that. And it took one man. And that's you, Mr. Judgment. And I've stood here before and talked. And what happened? You come with your fancy editing to try to get back at me, to try to play mind games. And yeah, Judgment, you're getting in my head a little bit. You're getting in this mind. But what you don't realize is when I did those horrible things, I paid for those sins. Because that's what that dash was all about. Look in these eyes, Judgment. These are eyes that have been full of regret. These are eyes that have been full of agony. These are eyes that have been full of anger. Because for the longest time, I could not wake up in the morning and look at the man in the mirror and be happy with him. I could not wake up every single morning and be happy with what I did. And for a long time, I struggled with that. For a long time, I looked in that mirror and had to turn around, and I got angry at that man. And I am no longer that man. And it was one day where I had to wake up and say, damn it, you're going to be happy with that man in the mirror. And now every single morning, I know because I've asked for forgiveness. I've paid for those sins. I look in the mirror at the man I have become, and I am happy. But there's one thing in the way of that mirror now. And that's you, Mr. Judgment. You are in the way of that mirror. For me looking in that mirror and be happy with the man I am. You're standing in front of me. So how do I look in that mirror, realize that my dash was worth something? One way. And the one way I can look in that mirror and be happy with the man I am is at the end of Best in the Yard 4, my hand is being raised. Because if I lay on that mat, 1, 2, 3, what was that dash for? What were all those mornings that I woke up and I said, you're going to be happy with the man you see in the mirror? What was that for? I already paid for the sins. I dealt with it. But if I can't beat you in the main event of Best in the Yard 4, I can't look in that mirror and be happy with the man I am. But Judgment, the day after Best in the Yard, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to look at that man in the mirror and I'm going to say, God dang it, you are the man who just won the main event of Best in the Yard 4. I'm going to say that you, sir, are happy. But Mr. Judgment, can you wake up every morning after Best in the Yard 4 and be happy with the man that you see in that mirror?